So almost every brand has their own entry-level gaming laptop, like HP has Victus, Asus has TUF, Lenovo has Log, and MSI has Thin. But for Acer, first it used to be Acer Nitro 5, which got a promotion, and then it was the Acer Aspire 5 and 7 series. But like Lenovo, who rebranded their IdeaPad series to a serious gaming series Log, Acer also moved towards creating an entry-level gaming laptop, the Acer ALG, with a brand new gaming look and feel and some tricks up its sleeves. It comes in two variants, one with an RTX 2050 and one with an RTX 3050. Both have the same processors and the RAM. So let's find out in this video, what does this series have to offer, who should consider this series, how does this series compare to the other brands' entry-level gaming laptops, and a detailed comparison of both variants of ALG. Starting off with its build and design, it comes with a metal chassis with aluminum top lid, which is surprisingly refreshing to see in a laptop of this budget. It has a very cool diamond cut design on the metal top lid, which looks better than most higher tier gaming laptops. It's built quite strong for the price it comes in, with good stable hinges, very minimal screen wobble, negligible keyboard flex, and a bit of top lid flex, which I suspect is due to its diamond shaped design. It can easily be opened with one hand and the screen goes back to about 145 degrees. It has a full-sized keyboard with single zone RGB backlight. Although the keyboard has no issues with it and typing on it is very smooth, it does look quite cheaply built. But it does come in the classic Acer dual tone keys, which makes up for it. It has shortcut keys to turn on or off the RGB and also reducing or increasing the brightness of the RGB. It has a big air intake vent on the bottom, two air exhaust vents on the back, and two air exhaust vents on either side of the laptop with this cool silver grille design. It has a separate power button on top right of the keyboard with dimensions of 23.8 by 35.9 by 2.3 centimeters. It weighs below 2 kgs, which in my opinion makes it one of the lightest 15.6-inch gaming laptop in the market. Its screen has not so thin bezels on the top and bottom, but have completely narrow bezels on the sides. It has a good sized, fully clickable trackpad with support for multi-gestures, and the laptop LED indication lights are back with this laptop, which are placed on the front facing side. I haven't seen these lights probably since like 10 years. Talking about the screen, it has a 15.6-inch IPS anti-glare Full HD panel with a native resolution of 1920 by 1080p, an aspect ratio of 16 by 9, a color gamut of 45% NTSC, 1000 by 1 contrast ratio, 300 nits brightness, but it feels like 250 nits. So it might be a problem using this laptop in a well-lit room or outside in the sun. And it has a merely 60Hz refresh rate, which in my opinion is pretty rough. However, one can get a 144Hz refresh rate in the 3050 variant of this laptop. But still, 60Hz in a gaming laptop in 2024?
Brother, what's that?
It has surprisingly decent ports, giving two USB Type-A ports and two USB Type-C ports. Starting from the left, it has one USB Type-A 3.2 Gen 1 port, one USB Type-A 2.0 port, and two separate 3.5mm jack, one for headphones and one for mic. On the right side, it has one RJ45 Ethernet port, one USB Type-C 3.2 Gen 1 port, which doesn't support DisplayPort or power delivery functionality, and has one microSD card reader. Rest of the ports lie on the back side with one more USB Type-C 3.2 Gen 1 port, again with no support for DisplayPort or power delivery, one HDMI 2.1 port, one DisplayPort, and one power pen. Ports wise, though, I would usually criticize the fact that it has one USB Type-A 2.0 port in 2024, or its Type-C port has no power delivery or DisplayPort functionality, but I would commend this laptop at this price range for having first of all two USB Type-C ports, which most laptops even in 90k range don't have, and second, it has ports on the back side to give it relatively more cleaner look. So kudos to Acer. Talking about some other features, it has Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.1 for that seamless connectivity. It has an HD cam of 720p only. It comes with a 120-watt charger and a 54-watt-hour battery, which will last up to only 2 to 3 hours of video playback and only 40 to 50 minutes of gaming. It has two speakers which don't sound very good. It has no mux switch at all, which is expected from a laptop at this price price point, and it doesn't come with MS Office pre-installed. Talking about what's inside, this particular variant comes packed with Intel Core i5-12450H with 8 cores and 16 threads, of which 4 are P cores and 4 are E cores. 16GB of DDR4 RAM clocked at 3200 MHz, but sadly it comes in single channel mode. 512GB of NVMe storage, RTX 2050 with 4GB of VRAM and a maximum TDP of 55 watts, and the RTX 3050 variant has a 6GB of RTX 3050 GPU with a maximum TDP of 75 watts, and the rest of the specifications for the 3050 remaining the same. With specifications like these, this laptop scored the following Cinebench results and Geekbench scores. If you compare closely, the CPU scores are about the same as those of Ryzen 5 5600 and i5 11th Gen laptop CPUs. And here are the 3D Mark TimeSpy scores of both the variants. Although there seems to be a significant gap between the 2050 and 3050 variant scores, we will know for sure after we see the game test. And here is some comparison of these two variants with Ryzen 5 and the Intel i5 11th Gen. So some people saying that the CPU of this laptop is a comeback of CPU of 11th Gen laptops, so the prices should be compared with those. I think these scores will settle this discussion. The scores of the two variants are good enough for tasks like low to medium or casual gaming, average performance for streamers, 1080p level video editing and 4K level video editing with some lags, creative workload like Photoshop, CorelDRAW, music composition, etc. I ran some gaming tests on this machine with these test conditions, and here are the results. As you can see, this laptop, although being an entry-level gaming laptop, is capable of playing AAA titles at playable FPS. Even games like Cyberpunk ran smoothly on this machine. There is a marginal gap of about 5 to 10% between the two variants of this laptop, which is to be expected. Temps, however, not very great. As the CPU at some instances did reach 90 plus degrees. The GPU temps were more in the 3050 variant, but that is to be expected as 3050 consumes more power than the 2050 variant. But overall temps are more than usual in this laptop. I don't know if there was some issue in my units, but the temperatures were on the higher side. Talking about the software support, it comes equipped with its own performance customization software, which offers a fair bit of customizations like system vitals, thermal profiles, custom fan speed controls, general preference settings, RGB control, but I could not find any effects. So you can change the color and adjust the brightness, but the RGB is a stable single color. Defining some macro keys and some battery life settings, which basically keeps the battery at 70% by default, which enhances the battery's overall life. This percentage can be set manually according to the user preference as well. Talking about its upgradability, it has some decent upgrade options with 2 RAM slots of 32GB DDR4 RAM each, giving a total of 64GB, and it's highly recommended to use either 8+8 or 16+16 configuration to get the max out of this DDR4 RAM system. It also has 2 M.2 slots for up to Gen 4 NVMe of at least 1TB each. I'm not sure if 2TB or more per slot is possible, so if anyone has this information, comment down below and I will pin the comment. Talking about the competition for this laptop, we have a few options like HP Victus, Lenovo EloQ, and Asus TUF. So this laptop, although is pretty cool in terms of price and performance it gives for that price, it still has somewhat better alternatives. For instance, you can get an HP Victus for the same price with better ports, better screen, better RAM, and better temperatures. I must point that for gamers, screen is gonna be a massive setback in this laptop. However, apart from some thermal issues, it's still a pretty decent entry-level gaming laptop for Acer, with the looks of a proper gaming laptop and giving pretty decent performance. Just use it with a cooling pad. If you liked the review, please like the video, dislike if you didn't, tell me about it in the comment section, and consider subscribing for more videos like this.